Hello, welcome to Chat UTD. We're going to just have a bit of a catch up on all things United as we always do at this sort of time of the week. Quick look at Burnley, Sheff United, and just things in general. The season feels like it's limping to a close with no real meaning to the games that we're playing. We potentially could get 68 points if we got maximum points. That's not going to happen. We're hanging on to a Europa League place. It's all quite uninspiring, although we could do, of course, have an FA Cup final to look forward to. I'm surprised this week there's not been more speculation about Ten Hag's job. I did a video earlier in the week saying that for me, Sunday was a watershed moment. I think he has to go. You're going to get top Reds out there that would defend anything. The team could be bottom of the league with 33 games played, with 25 points, having scored 15 goals and conceded 92. And you'll always have top Reds who'll defend it and say you've got to get behind the manager because they think it makes them better fans than everybody else. So I don't take what they say seriously. But amongst the rest of the fan base, there's still a split. One of the things I hear as an argument to keep Ten Hag is that he should stay with a better structure around him. The irony being there that United are in between structures. No, we don't have the old structure of the Glazers, Ed Woodward, Richard Arnold, Matt Judge, John Murtagh, Darren Fletcher, etc. But we also don't have Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth. We've only just got Jason Wilcox. We don't have the new structure either. We're in between. What we've got is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir David Brailsford, Jean-Claude Blanc, and we've only just got Jason Wilcox. That's better, but it's not the structure that we're aiming for moving forward. So ironically, I would actually say if I was going to argue for Ten Hag to stay and mention structure in that argument, I'd say you almost may as well keep him because he's used to working under a chaotic structure. And why would you put a new manager into a structure that isn't the one that it's not ready? The stuff we need to do isn't ready. It's the story of United. It's a story of United over the last 10, 15 years. It's delay after delay after delay. The takeover was delayed, which has pushed everything back. We're trying to appoint a chief executive who's unattainable at the moment, who's on gardening leave. So this summer, far from being a write-off, is not going to be the transformative summer we need it to be, because we're still behind the game. We haven't got the people through the door that we need. So I still think Ten Hag should go, but I wouldn't use structure and working under a new structure as a reason to keep him, because the structure doesn't exist yet. As you can patently see, this isn't the United stand. I don't have any fancy production. I don't have anything going across the screen. I don't have live shows. I don't have live comments. I don't have super chats and things like that. So my way of being able to interact with people is that if someone leaves a comment, I would then respond to that retrospectively. And someone called John, who's written comments before, wrote a comment in my last video regarding Ten Hag. And as I replied to him, I said, I'll address it properly in a video so it starts some proper interaction, which is what I wanted from this channel in the first place. So John's comment was sort of saying that he's happy that I now agree Erik Ten Hag should go, and I think it's fair to say John's not a fan of Erik Ten Hag. And I've experienced for myself when the managers, certain players, they come through the door, and for me personally, I might take an instant dislike to them. So I didn't like Louis van Gaal, didn't think he should be United's manager. And from the first press conference he ever did, I thought this guy's not right for United. And with Mourinho, I think after the first 6 months, I thought, you don't represent what, in my mind, are the morals, values, and ambition of a Manchester United football club. You can keep your Europa League Cup and finishing second and getting to an FA Cup final. It was soulless, lifeless, terrible football. And by the end of it, I despised him. Once we make our mind up on someone, all their flaws become magnified. And I've got to own that with Rashford. I made my mind up on Marcus Rashford 5 years ago. And all he's done since then is prove me right in my mind, because he gets under my skin. So I see it. if you feel strongly about someone and you don't think they're good enough to be at your club, particularly if it's a manager, you'll see all their flaws times 100. And Erik Ten Hag has given people like John ammunition, without a doubt. I have to say, from my own perspective, I don't feel as strongly about Erik Ten Hag as I did the others, because my understanding of the way United works has grown over the last 5 years. I'd like to think I've got good knowledge of football. I've got encyclopedic knowledge about Man United, but because I was so indoctrinated in the past in terms of like that the manager runs the club, the manager runs the ship, it takes some time to move away from that. What I've seen over the last 5 or 6 years in more 2020 vision is that there's so much more to it than that. And one of the reasons probably I've not been as hostile towards Ten Hag as I probably was towards Mourinho and Van Gaal is that he's got idiots above him and he's got idiots below him. There are far worse characters within the club than him. The Glazers are the ones I'd name more than anybody else, but you've had clowns like Ed Woodward, I know he's gone now, and Richard Arnold, who's gone now, but for part of his tenure, he's had people like that, all those people above him, and some of the ones below him in terms of his playing staff, like Rashford, Sancho, just people who shouldn't be associated with Man United. And he could do better in how he's responded to that, and that's why I think he needs to go. But I don't feel any hostility towards him because of those reasons, probably. There's 3 people that make relatively regular comments on my videos. There's Leon, who I know outside of all this, he's one of my friends. There's Mark, and there's John. And I'd like to ask all 3 of you, who do you have as a replacement for Erik Ten Hag? Now, for Leon and Mark, they've not said they definitely want him to go, but just hypothetically, who would you want? For John, I'm intrigued to know, because you have said that you do want him to go. Who would replace him? Who could come into this in-between structure, as I said, and do obviously a better job? If I've asked you, I have to give you my opinion. My opinion is the person I would want out of slim pickings is Thiago Motta, and I'm going to do a video shortly about that. The first of my preview videos, and I'm going to post it tomorrow. Not previews, sorry, profile videos of managers that are being linked with the United job. So I'll give my reasons on that one then. So thanks for the comment, John, and I hope that summarises what you said, but also my response to it. I'm in agreement with you that I think Erik Ten Hag should go, but I probably don't feel as strongly as you do about it, and I don't feel as strongly as I did about Van Gaal and Mourinho, and hopefully that explains why. Quick look back and then look forward. Sheff United last night was just more of the same, just chaotic. Behind twice against a team that's probably one of the worst teams that's ever played in the Premier League. Winning 4-2, but it doesn't look like there's any real difference to what we're trying to do last night as to what we've been doing over the last few weeks. Again, no discernible change, no lessons being learned. Pleased for Bruno. Obviously, he gets another couple of goals. He's scored loads recently. He's scored in pretty much every game recently, and he's doing what he's paid to do. He's scoring goals and he's assisting. Delighted for Rasmus. He needed a goal. Harry Maguire's banging in a few goals at the moment, which is great to see. But it was just more of the same. It doesn't fill you with any confidence. And Burnley at the weekend really should be a tougher game than that, in that Burnley have got some improved results recently, but certainly improved performances, and I can see it being another tough game. I don't think it's straightforward at all. And as I said at the start of the video, that the season's limping to a close, and you should bring on the cup final, but what state are we going to be in by that time? Who knows? I think we need some clarity personally on what's going to be happening with Dan Ashworth, with Erik Ten Hag. I think they're not going to give away too much about what they're doing with the players, but it's the natives are getting restless, and rightly so. And it's just as I've said it so many times, it's a mess. So, as I said before, Mark, Leon, John, get your comments in. New people, get your comments in, because that's how I can start to interact with people. And thank you for the comments that have been made. And I will get to work on that Thiago Motta video. Glazers out.